Good morning, hello and welcome to this week's assembly. I hope that you had a lovely half-term break. I know that I have caught up with many of you either on the playground, on the gate or popping into your classrooms, and it's been an absolute delight to hear the great things that you have done. I know many of you have ventured down to Victoria Park and that you've been on the fair down there, lots of excited faces, and the way that you spoke about it definitely shares that is something you enjoy and that you got lots of pleasure from. I know people travelled all over the country in different ways, and some stayed at home and enjoyed the delights and the treats that we have around where we live. The weather has certainly helped with that, and I know that many of you have been outside getting lots of sunshine and looking after yourselves as well. Lots of hats in school. Remember your caps because this sunshine is due to last, which is fabulous news. So a few things from me today as we go into this week. First of all, we move into a new value, a new monthly value. This time we are on patience. Patience is a virtue. And there is lots that we can gain from having a good level of patience. When were you last patient? It might have been something around waiting for a birthday, maybe waiting for Christmas, if you remember back that far ago, 6 months ago. We had to be patient. We knew something was coming. We knew that it was going to arrive, but we didn't quite know what it was going to look like, and we didn't know... we needed it to happen. We were excited, but we had to be patient. We had to wait. And I've got a story I want to share with you. This is a story that was shared someone that works with me, Mark, who is my leadership coach. He sends me something each week to get me thinking, to get me reflecting. And as if by chance, this week's one was on patience. So I wanted to share it with you. Here's a story about a young boy who decided to take up judo, despite the fact that he had lost his left arm in a car accident. I know many of you do karate and other martial arts, but for those who don't, judo is another one of those, and actually it's something I did when I was younger. Not for long, but I did have a go at it. The boy began lessons with an old Japanese judo master. The boy was doing well, so he couldn't understand why, after 3 months of training, the master had only taught him one move. "Sensei," the boy finally said, "shouldn't I be learning more moves?" "True, this is the only move you know, but you are good at this move, and it is the only one you will ever need to know," the sensei replied. Not quite understanding, but believing in his teacher, the boy kept training. Several months later, the sensei took the boy to his first tournament. Surprising himself, the boy easily won his first 2 matches. The third match proved to be more difficult, but after some time, his opponent became impatient and charged. The boy deftly used his one move to win the match. Still amazed by his success, the boy was now in the finals. This time, his opponent was bigger, stronger and more experienced. For a while the boy appeared to be overmatched, and concerned that the boy might get hurt, the referee called a timeout. He was about to stop the match when the sensei intervened. "No," the sensei insisted, let him continue. Soon after the match resumed, his opponent made a critical mistake. He dropped his guard. Instantly the boy used his move to pin him. The boy had won the match and the tournament. He was the champion. On the way home, the boy and sensei reviewed each move in every match. Then the boy summoned the courage to ask what was really on his mind. "Sensei, how did I win that tournament only knowing one move?" "You won for 2 reasons, the sensei answered. "First, you've almost mastered one of the most difficult throws there is in judo. It's now your strength. And second, the only known defence for that move is for the opponent to grab your left arm." I thought that was a very poignant story, something which resonated with me in terms of knowing our strengths, but also having that patience and indeed that trust in our teachers. And I know, talking to all of our children, that they have the utmost trust in their teachers and the staff who work with them every single day. It is paramount. It's how we work at this school. It's how we have the successes we do. We trust one another. We are patient and we trust. Yesterday, many of you around the school enjoyed World Ocean Day. Thank you to Ms Alderson and some of the eco team for putting together the resources and sharing those with us as we joined across the world with others, just looking a little bit more at our oceans, going for a bit of a deeper dive, one might say, into the water, and exploring some of the creatures that we have within that. Certainly in year 3 we looked at plankton, we looked at some phytoplankton and some zooplankton, and I know across the school children looked at different aspects of the oceans. In particular, and the theme across the whole school is about looking after those oceans. What do we do to further protect them? How do we not make them worse, both for ourselves, but more importantly for the climate, and also for the creatures that indeed live in there. We're learning more and more about the oceans. We're learning about the importance of them, what they provide for us. Certainly, I was pleasantly surprised at learning something new every day. It's what we come to school for. And yesterday I learned that over half of the oxygen that's produced comes from the phytoplankton, let's get it right, phytoplankton that exists in our ocean. But if you were to weigh, I don't know how they know this, but if you were to weigh all of the phytoplankton in the world, and indeed all of the trees and bushes in the world, the trees and bushes would weigh 430 times more than all the phytoplankton, even though the phytoplankton produce more than half of all of our oxygen that we need to survive. So a little bit of maths thrown in there, something for you to calculate and think about, but it's just fascinating that these tiny creatures, or certainly organisms that we can't even see without a microscope, can help us survive, and without them we just wouldn't be here. So there you go. There's the message of this week, World Oceans Day. Look after our oceans. Think about what you do with your plastic in particular. Think about how much plastic you use. Recycling is something that we are doing more and more on across our school. It's just habitual. It is a culture at this school. With pens, yesterday I was in a year 3 class and a couple of whiteboard pens run out, and there wasn't even a second thought that they would go anywhere apart from the pen bin, which then gets recycled alongside all the other pens. So let's continue to think about that in all different ways, and I know many of you at home are recycling things. We are still collecting and recycling crisp packets, so please do keep bringing those in. Either bring them into the school office where there is a box, send them in with your child, however you want to do it, and we'll make sure that we keep collecting those in the lunch hall and across the Key Stage 2 classes after each lunchtime. So we'll do our bit, and together we can make a huge impact. Don't forget, at the end of our drive we have a clothing charity bin. Lots of things can go in there. Yes, clothes can, but all sorts of other things, books, shoes, CDs, DVDs, if you're getting rid of stuff like that. Pop them in bags, drop them in there, and they go to good causes as well as raising funds for our school. And what else have I got? Oh yes, got quite excited about this when I was sent this by Mrs Hastings, the Big B Challenge, Radio 2. I don't know how many of you are avid listeners, but they have got the Big B Challenge, which is occurring at the moment, and keep the bees buzzing is a very apt slogan. So I guess send some information out about that this week. I just think these posters look great. I'm going to select some children today as I wander around the school, get them to colour these in for me, return them, and then I go put them up around the school and out on our notice boards just to promote this great opportunity. Yeah, we'd love to see your child have a go, or you, if you're a child watching this, have a go and get one of these, download them. I'll send the link to your parents. get them coloured in, and then get them put up somewhere in your house or on your street, and get a photo of you next to it, maybe with sort of a, there you go, there's my colouring for the Big B challenge, there's my poster, and you never know, we might find a few prizes or something for the best ones, or those that are the most creative, or those that have just been a bit ingenious. Remember, we don't stick to crayons or felt tips. There's definitely some scope here, I think, for some collaging or mixed media. Let's impress our art leads with what we do with that. So there you go, something for you to get involved in. Another thing that the whole school are doing, next Tuesday, 2 o'clock, we are taking part in 2 Guinness World Records. We are looking at joining Young Voices for the biggest, not the big, not the bigger, but the biggest sing, which is, I think it's over 300,000 so far. It's certainly a huge amount of participants signed up. That they already have the world record, but they're looking to smash their own world record. For the biggest group of children, pupils, people singing alongside at one time simultaneously. And so we have got Lovely Day, which is the song which we'll be singing and signing against. So 2 world records, the biggest simultaneous sing-along and the biggest simultaneous sign-along. So information about that it will go out again to you on Friday in my head teacher update, so please do have a look at that. Please practice that at home. I know the children have been practicing it in school as well. So not only the singing, but also the signing, something there that we are excited to be joining with. And thank you to Ms. Rogers for signing us up to that, and also getting us all on board and creating that lovely atmosphere around the school as we practice those songs. Finally from me, before I sign off today, lunchtimes. I know you've all seen a short video that Mrs. Dan put together as we work together to ensure that lunchtimes are happy times. They're places where every child can feel as though they can enjoy their lunchtime in an environment that is not too noisy, and that is a time when they can chat with their friends. Lunchtimes are really important. There is space within the day where people can switch off a little bit, have absolutely some time with their friends, talking about things they love sharing, interests that they want to communicate with one another, but especially in the hall, it's been getting a little bit noisy later. So let's think about our volume, let's think about how we sit, let's think about talking to the person next to you, and remember those cards, those cue cards that are on your tables in the hall that just prompt you. About am I sitting beautifully? Am I have I got my hat off? Am I talking quietly to the person next to me? Am I waiting for my food sensibly? Am I using my knife and fork? There's many of you, which I know that is a skill you've been practicing over the past weeks and months, and you're getting much better at it, which is wonderful, and I'm really proud because it's a life skill, being able to use a knife and fork, and it's something that is really vital that you keep practicing and be really akin to, and something that you are good at. It's very important. Okay, well, that's enough for me. As I said at the beginning, enjoy the sunshine. I hope that you get out there lots. I know there's lots of daily miles going on. Well done to Hazel class. They were our victors, our winners. They've got the trophy this week, so very deserved winners. They have snatched it out of the hands of Silver Birch, their other Year 3 class, who had it for 3 weeks running. But Hazel have taken that, and across the school we had the largest total number of steps for certainly a number of weeks. So well done to Hazel and all the other classes for keeping up the daily mile. Have a wonderful day, enjoy all you do, and I'll see you around the school. All the best. Bye for now.